Yo, it's good. NB2, it's your man, 100 grand Ross for the ride never stops. And today, damn it, I gotta do it again. I've gotta apologize. I've got it wrong. Fred VanVleet is an all-star. Yo, if you like this video, if you like hearing your boy eat humble pie, smash that like button, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. Yo, I have to say that I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'm all right acknowledging that I got it wrong. And I'm not saying I got it wrong in terms of that my points were off in regards to why he was not an all-star, but I got it wrong in terms of my points outlasting all the reasons why he is an all-star today. And I want to read some of the points that subscriber Raymond Jacob and John Doe both made that I have to admit were spot on. They were just spot on. And I want to read the whole thing. It was really, really strong points. Um, he said straight up, uh, Fred VanVleet averages 21 points a game, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Kyle Lowry was a multiple time consecutive All Star, never cracked 20 points per game as a Raptor, in spite of making the All Star game 6 consecutive times. And they're negating the points that I was making that Fred wasn't as prolific, explosive of a scorer as I thought he needed to be in order to really crack this lineup. Now, of course, at the time, I'm looking at other perpetual all stars such as Kyrie Irving playing the guard spot. You got Trey Young. You got guys like uh, James Harden, who's at the guard position, Zach Levine. Um, you have all these different individuals who are making the All Star game, and they score big time. And I simply thought that Fred wasn't on that level. But what I negated was the fact that he was leading a team that was still dealing with injuries to its best players, dealing with a team that's in transition, going back to Toronto after being out in Florida for a full season. He's been the most consistent player, the leader, the big shot maker. He's been the individual getting his team uh, in line, game in and game out, executing the game plan, ensuring that the pressure of winning and losing and taking and making big shots was on him and not on you guys like Scottie Barnes, Gary Trent Jr. He made sure that he kept them afloat while Pascal Siakam was still coming back from the shoulder surgery. He was head coach Nick Nurse's rock, and he did so to the tune of a highly efficient 22 points a game. Some other points that John Doe makes um, is that he was scoring more efficiently than either Lamelo Ball or Darius Garland, whom he's competing against for this spot, which he got. His advanced stats are second behind Jokic, the reigning MVP. He's also top 10 in the fourth quarter scoring. Last he checked, while being third in the NBA in made threes, while shooting over 40%. And the Raptors are a top 10 defense when he plays, bottom 20 when he sits. So his case is strong for the court play, but this is a popularity contest, so there's a decent chance he doesn't make it. He doesn't make the cut. These are the points that John Doe was making. Now I had my response, but then he adds two. He says, "I would say he definitely has impact of winning more than Beal, more than Bradley Beal, and Drew Holiday. Doesn't really have the popping counting stats, but his team is great also. Brown shouldn't get it. I'm just talking about Jalen Brown. If Tatum is in, which he is, it's hard to justify the Celtics having two All Stars and the Raptors zero, which is a great point. The Celtics are ranked beneath the Toronto Raptors in terms of wins and losses, and so you have to admit that, hey, you know what? You can't give the Celtics two. and the Raptors 0, and they're playing better basketball. So, yeah, Ball is good, but again, he's a one-way player, and even then, Fred has him in the points and efficiency. But alas, it's a popularity contest, and he concedes again. Fred VanVleet, he truly is Masai Ujiri's uh, brain manifestation of what it looks like to maintain a high-level winning franchise. He calculated allowing Kyle Lowry to walk in free agency. I mean, he did it in a trade. He got an asset back in Precious Achiuwa, who's been solid. He's been solid, if not spectacular, but that's to be expected in his sophomore year, and this is the first time he's getting real playing time. So it's really like his rookie season, which he's now made the All Star game, rookie sophomore game, which shows that he's doing a great job of making sure he procures assets for his players, and that they're thriving in the system still. But at the same time, Fred VanVleet has filled in not just admirably for Kyle Lowry, but he has solidified why, with this All Star nod, why Masai Ujiri was right to believe in him in the first place. It's not to say that he's better or worse than Kyle Lowry. There's nothing to really compare except for the fact that they lead and they do so by example, doing what their team needs. Now, I will say that Fred VanVleet is a bit more of a scorer than Kyle Lowry is. Not to say that Kyle Lowry cannot score at this level, but it's to say that Fred, I think he's more natural when it comes to shooting and scoring and having that outlook. Whereas I think Kyle Lowry is a little bit more resigned to facilitate the basketball and just run the team and be an anchor on defense. When I see Fred VanVleet out, honestly, he gives me Seth Curry, between a Seth Curry, Trey Young type vibe. He's not as quick and shifty as Trey Young, um, but he's got that unconscious 3-point shooting. He doesn't get off as quickly as Steph and Seth, but he's shown that the combination of his determination, hard work, his footwork, his craftiness, his ball handling savvy, court IQ, that Fred VanVleet is able to not just play at a high level, but at an all-star level. Right now, the Raptors are number 8 seed, only a game, I want to say a half a game, if I check again right here, they're only about a half a game behind the Charlotte Hornets. And this is coming from a 27-year-old Fred VanVleet, who's in his prime right now, who was undrafted, who went undrafted. People got to realize what it means to go from undrafted to all-star. It's happened very few times in NBA history. Somebody look up for me how often that this has actually happened. That a player has gone from undrafted to becoming an all-star. Right now, as the Toronto Raptors 8th seed, a half game behind Charlotte at the 7th seed, 2 games behind Brooklyn as a 6th seed. And we all know Brooklyn is heading in the wrong direction, losing 6 in a row. Charlotte has lost 2 in a row, while the Raptors have won 3 in a row. He's done just enough to warrant us putting him in the All-Star game. And right now, when we look at what he's doing, we have no choice but to admit, yo, this is what we want when we say somebody is an all-star. Consistency. He's been healthy all year. He's been leading at the front of the pack for his team. Nobody's come in, even Pascal playing great recently, hasn't overshadowed Fred VanVleet playing great. As a matter of fact, it's only made it easier for him. Even when Scotty Barnes had that hot start and was looking like the front runner for the rookie of the year, it still didn't overshadow Fred VanVleet playing great. Gary Trent Jr. has been on an absolute tear recently, and yet it has not overshadowed Fred VanVleet's greatness this season. Now, the question that I have is just how far do you think Fred VanVleet can take this? Do you think that he can elevate all the way up to a continual all star? Do you think he can be 2, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time, 6 time all star like Kyle Lowry was? I think they're going to have to win a lot more. I think he's going to have to continue to do this, and they're going to have to continue to be a top 6 seed or to do so. It's going to be tough. Trey Young in his own backyard in the Eastern Conference. Kyrie Irving is still there. James Harden is still there. It's not going to be easy. But it's to say once you're in there and you are a solidified all-star, it's hard to then put somebody in ahead of you. Even a Darius Garland. Darius Garland has the Cleveland Cavaliers. I want to say, if I check really quick, they are the number 5 seed, right? They're about 3.5 games ahead of Toronto. But when you look at what each of them is doing, they're very close. They're very comparable. If I triple check, I'm not. Let me make sure he didn't actually make the All Star game as well. Sorry, I'm doing this on the fly because I wanted to make sure that I got this in there because when a subscriber asks, you just got to jump to it and do it. Darius Garland did get into the All Star game, so that's going to be something to look towards to in the future. You got James Harden, Darius Garland, DeMar DeRozan, Trey Young, and Fred VanVleet and Zach Levine all in the All Star game. It's a lot of guards. It's a lot of guards. LaMelo Ball is going to be knocking on the door. That's for sure. That's for sure. Um, and you got some other guards like Kate Cunningham. He's coming. He's coming. Make no mistake about it. He's going to be right there. And you got other players in the Eastern Conference. You got Cole Anthony. Yo, that's a cold boy. That's a cold boy. And so let me know what y'all think. Who do you think is next up to become an all star of these talented rookie guards? Fred VanVleet is in. I repeat it again. Fred VanVleet is in the All Star game. He's doing his thing. He's dominating game in and game out, has his team in the playoffs. And so we've got to recognize it. He got recognized and he's in there. But let me know if he can sustain it. I want to know your thoughts and comments. And I'm going to holler at y'all next time. Peace.